What's going on, everyone? This is Jonathan Salmon back with another breakdown, and this time I'm going to be breaking down the fight between Donald Cowboy Cerrone and Justin Gaethje. So this one is going to be, or at least the hope anyway, is going to be absolutely crazy madness. Both guys are willing to trade, stand in the pocket, and really try and assert their offense. I would actually say that Justin Gaethje is a little bit more of a brawler, more of a gutsy fighter that wants to just, he'll take two to give you one. Where Cerrone is more of a polished Muay Thai striker, has a little bit of karate-esque type of approach to certain of his techniques, particularly his front kicks and round kicks. He has a lot of a snap round kick, more than that traditional Muay Thai kind of kick. But this one it's shaping up to be one of the potential fights of the year, just based on both men's styles. Both men love to strike, even though Gaethje is a decorated wrestler, amateur wrestler. He just loves to strike more than anything else. And Cerrone, he's been doing his thing for years now, ever since the WEC days. He's been putting in work and really proving that he's top of the food chain. One of those guys that, if not for a few fighters, he would definitely just be the champion in the lightweight division for sure. But first things first, we'll break down Cerrone's style, and then we'll talk about Gaethje, and we'll pretty much talk about exactly what both men need to do to win their fight. As it stands, I would say with Cerrone, his biggest tools that he has are his jabs and his left kick. Particularly, he has great kicks on both sides. Don't get me wrong. On his right side kick, he'll use like either the round kick to the leg or round kick up top, which is a little bit more rare for him. He doesn't really throw a ton of high kicks off the right leg, but when he does throw it, it's with some sick power and speed and snap, and also the front kick. So pretty much, it sounds like that's pretty much the basics: front kick, round kick. That's pretty much all you would throw for the most part from a kicking perspective. But the way he masks everything, he throws a lot of front kicks to mask and low kicks to mask when he goes up high, and that's when he really kind of catches guys sleeping with that. He also kind of fakes a right hand when he throws the right high kick, which has caught a few opponents in the past and really hurt them. But his left kick, I would say his left leg, he does more of a inside leg kick and body round kick, body high, and high kick as well. On the left leg, he'll use it for front kicks as well, like that snap front kick, but a little bit more. I think he relies on his right leg a little bit more for that snapping front kick. So with Gaethje, you imagine that Cerrone's going to be dealing with the low leg kicks from Gaethje, because Gaethje is a leg kicker through and through. He loves to just damage the lead leg and then goes to work from there. And what I'm thinking Cerrone's going to have to do is, one, he's going to have to use the jab more than he's ever had before. And he uses the jab he has an educated jab, and he uses it well. But particularly in this fight, just Gaethje loves to come forward. Gaethje just loves to put his hands up and kind of turtle forward in a high guard. So that jab is going to be crucial to judging distance, crucial to keeping Gaethje from just firing off the leg kick with impunity. He's going to have to really utilize that jab to the head and to the body, which he's really good at doing. So that will eventually kind of just break. Essentially, you have to break down Justin Gaethje. You can't just hope to hit him with one big shot and then close the show. And luckily for Cerrone, that's not even his style. He loves to pick people apart and really just use his length. I think especially now, especially as he's gotten older, he's learned to use his length with shorter opponents particularly well. Even in the Al Iaquinta fight, Al Iaquinta, butchered his name. Sorry, guy. even the Iaquinta fight, we saw that he really used his length very well. He really chose to use a lot of long weapons. That front kick, like we said before, the jab, straight right hand. He wasn't using a ton of hooks and short range kind of tactics unless Iaquinta was in the space. So we see that Cerrone's really adapted well. He's used his length before in the past, but he's let guys get in on him before, and I think he has a little bit more of an understanding of that now as his game has matured. So he's definitely going to want to use that jab, use the inside leg kick and outside leg kick in the first round. I notice he likes to do that to kind of judge and try, one, to beat up the legs, but two, to kind of just be a little bit conservative, because he's going to eventually go up high with his left leg or right leg. And, throwing a lot of those low leg kicks are going to really just kind of get Gaethje's attention and beat up the leg and just make him probably even fall asleep and not see the high kicks coming when they do come out. They will come out. So, since Gaethje's going to be doing a lot of leg kicks in this fight like he does in every one, I think it's important that Cerrone returns fire. Like, if he gets hit in his lead leg immediately, he has to fire back his own counter kick, maybe a counter right kick, outside kick to match Gaethje. Something to deter him from just continuously firing off those leg kicks, because if you just kind of let Gaethje get into his game and just allow him to beat up your lead leg, then that's going to just build confidence for him, and he's going to start setting up his other offense off of that. So I definitely think Cerrone needs to return fire with either a straight right hand or right hand left hook, or a return low kick after he's hit. If he can check him, that would be the perfect scenario, just checking the kick and then returning. But if he does get hit with one, he's going to have to return immediately afterwards. We saw Muslim Salikov do that very well against Nordine Taleb at UFC 242. So he needs to have a similar approach to that every time he's hit to the legs. But as for Justin Gaethje, his game plan, obviously their leg kicks are there. We already covered that. He loves to throw leg kicks, loves to dirty box a lot. He likes to get into his opponent's face and just really get dirty with the fighting, hand traps and uppercuts, and just stay in tight and be mean and really pressure guys up against the cage, which I think is his best bet. He really, once he pressures guys up against the fence, is when he really starts to unload his offense, just gets a little bit more wild. I'm not to say it won't be wild in the middle of the cage, but he'll definitely start opening up a little bit more once he's pressured someone against the fence. So, interesting thing I noticed with Justin Gaethje is that when he throws his right low kick, right, his outside low kick to another orthodox fighter's lead leg, what I've noticed is that it helps him to kind of set up his overhand. Like, it almost looks as if the way he throws his right leg low kick is very similar to how his body language is very similar to how he would throw overhand right. And I think that's what has caught a lot of people slipping in the past. So if he hasn't damaged them completely with right low kicks, he will throw his right overhand, and a lot of times it'll either be nice and short and compact, or it'll be a little bit wider, but that wider overhand right almost looks similar to a low leg kick. So he can really mask it well with that. I also think, besides the obvious, right, in using his leg kicks, and, I think he should be targeting the body a lot with Cerrone. The pressure game needs to be high. He needs to be willing to parry some of those jabs, because he can't just eat all of them coming in like directly forward on Cerrone. He can't just rely on having a high guard and that's it. He's gonna need to at least parry some of the jabs so he can try and just survive for the first few rounds. Like, I feel like he would get completely busted up if he just allows Cerrone to get off on his jabs. So anytime Cerrone jabs, he needs to low kick like immediately afterwards. With inside and outside low kicks. He needs to, as soon as that either he parries and low kicks, or even if he's hit, he needs to low kick right after, counter with a low kick immediately. I definitely think that he should be going for takedowns in this fight, not necessarily to complete them. He's such a great wrestler that he should try and go for takedowns to complete them. But if he wants to remain in that striking realm that he loves so much, then definitely go for double legs. Go for, I was thinking like maybe a knee tap kind of takedown would be great for him. Reaching for Cerrone's right leg with his left arm, hooking that, and trying to go over the top with his right arm for kind of like a knee tap kind of takedown. I think that would be great because it would mask his overhand right when that does come out, and it would also mask the leg kicks. So all those movements are very similar. If you train them correctly, which it appears he has, they all have a very similar kind of startup. And he can really use all of that together. Like if he utilizes his wrestling, it's just gonna make it an easier fight. At this point, I'm not sure if he'll change his game, but it's still in there. You'll still see instances of him going to his wrestling and utilizing it to, either create pressure or just, stifle his opponent striking a little bit. So definitely think if he puts maybe a knee tap, maybe a double leg, single leg into his overall game plan, it's just gonna help. It's just gonna help the game completely. Body punching is gonna be a necessity. I think a straight cross or a right hook to the body, left hook to the body will help to kind of close distance, so he can get in on Cerrone and just start working inside of the pocket where he really wants to be, working inside the clinch where he really wants to be. And, I think that's what he really needs to do. He needs to close distance, and I think body shots will help to close that distance very well for him. So, all in all, very, very competitive fight. Should be exciting, should be fast-paced. Both guys have the gas tank to go for 5 rounds, so if we don't get a quick finish, then I think we're in for a delightful display of violence is what I'd like to say. So if you guys like the content, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. I'm going to be coming out with more videos in the future. So see you in the next one.